Take a step back in time in Old World, Wisconsin. Among the many ways to get hands-on history is by hopping on a vintage high-wheel bicycle. CBS 58 Sunday morning editor Susanne Barthel highlights the recent visit by the Wheelmen, a group keeping alive the heritage of American cycling.
Hi, my name is Tammy Simonson. I'm a member of the Wheelmen, a nonprofit national organization that preserves the American heritage of wheelmen in Wisconsin. You start off with your foot on the rear wheel, push off like a scooter, and once you have enough momentum going, you can hop up into the saddle. This bike was kind of the birth of bicycling, and so they became a lot more popular. Once you're up riding this bike, the view is amazing. You're driving on the front wheel, and so it's a continuous pedal. There's no coasting. But because you can do that, you can also ride no-handed. And once you're up on it, your legs are trapped underneath the handlebars. A lot of people did crash with these bikes, and so if you're gonna hit a rock or a rut or a horse comes at you, you're gonna take something called a header. And so the first people that were riding these would often break their hands or knock their heads up and open. So this wasn't the safest thing to ride. The next thing that came about was what we call a safety bike.
This is an original safety bicycle. They called them safeties because they were safer to ride than the high wheels. This was made in 1899 in nearby Kenosha. Bicycles have always been made in Wisconsin. Companies like Trek today that are making bicycles. I'm Dan Freese, director of Old World, Wisconsin, and welcome to Catch Wheel Fever. This is where we explore the early cycling boom that occurred in Wisconsin back at the end of the 19th century. There's lots of hands-on activities to do inside this building, as well as opportunities to ride bikes around the track. These are replicas of adult tricycles. We typically think of tricycles as something as little kids would ride on, but these were very popular in the 1880s and 1890s, particularly women, because you could ride one of these with a dress on. Any day that we're open, guests can come out and ride these tricycles around our track and hop on a stationary high-wheel bike inside the building. We have this one safely mounted to the floor, so you don't have to worry about getting on and off, so it's perfectly safe. This is set up to represent a place where a wheelman's club would have gathered just to talk about cycling, to work on their bikes, but more importantly, to use this as a place where they would launch one of their bike rides.
It's the simplicity, it's the history that goes with this bike. Everything that I relate to in the world kind of stems from cycling, and I'm always after how the bike is going to fit into my world, yeah. It took me about a half an hour to learn to ride and about a week to learn how to get off, so it does take some time and some finesse. There's really essentially no brakes. You have to reach back, find that step, you can slow yourself down with the pedal, and you hop right off.
I think it's one of those things that everyone can relate to bicycles. It's something that kids can relate to, adults can relate to. We're located right at the entrance to Old World, Wisconsin, so it's often the first thing that guests encounter when they visit. But when the parents ask the kids, what would you like to do before we leave, they want to come back and ride the bikes again.